This is Rimo TV. I am happy to have on set Dr. Karimi. Most welcome.
Thank you very much.
We are on the 6th National Science Week. The 6th. Dr. Karimi, introduce yourself and then tell us a little bit what is this 6th National Science Week all about. Dr. Karimi.
Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Stephen Karimi, Kibiru. I work for the National Commission for Science, Technology and Innovation, and I'm the director in charge of accreditation and quality assurance of accreditation and registration of research institutions and assurance of quality of research in this country. So that's a new mandate that has been given to the National Commission for Science and Innovation. It's entrenched in our act that set up the commission, the Science, Technology, Innovation Act 2013, which was actually commenced in 2013. So that's where we derive our mandate. Now, the National Science Week is actually a national event, and it's always held. We have always held it in May of every year. And as you can see, this is the 6th one.
Yes.
Before the National Science Week, we used to have a forum, a national forum which we used to call National Conference for Dissemination of Research Results. Because the government created a fund, the government of Kenya, which we used to call the Science, Technology, Innovation Fund. And that fund was funding researchers, on key areas that are supposed to drive the economy of this country. Now, and it was a competitive kind of a grant. So people compete and we pick the best. And then every year, based on the research they were doing, they were supposed to come and exhibit and make presentations of the work, the findings.
Yes.
So that's how it evolved, or it started. And then we have got these other people in the country. They are not in the research institutions, they are not in the universities, but they have got very brilliant ideas. So we also created
an avenue for them.
An avenue for them, which we are calling the innovation, grant. Within that STNI fund. So, and that's why the forum were inviting exhibitors, not only for the researchers, but even other innovators. And then we also created a young innovators kind of a club. And in fact, we even hosted them, even in our organization here in Utali building.
Yes.
Now, that's how it evolved. But with the time, now it has grown to incorporate the robotics, which initially was to be a separate competition. Up to a time when our senior administrators in the ministry felt we needed to bring them on board so that we can have a complete synopsis of what the ministry of the government is doing. And especially the ministry, that time it was the Ministry of Science and Technology, actually higher education. So that's how it came about. So we have always had it here in KICC, except one time I know we attempted to devolve it and took it a little bit out to the University of Nairobi. But again, we came back here. But our intentions is actually to go down up the counties.
How soon are we likely to see that?
Now, I won't be able to tell you how soon, but I know we have talked about it. We have tried to look at the logistics, but it has been a bit challenging. The other thing we have also tried to do is to sensitize the county governments, so that because science, technology, and innovation, it's not only at the national level. we are talking also about some of those STNI institutions are also there. And we want them to get involved. Like now we are having these TVET institutions there. We have
TVET, I think, falls under the county government. It's a devolved,
it's a devolved.
Agriculture is
yes,
a devolved
yes.
function.
But you see, again, it's still under the Minister of Higher Education or the Minister of Education. Yes. And these are also part of the sector that we call the science, technology, innovation.
So let's come to the sixth one, this one that we have this week.
Yes.
Give us a breakdown of what happened on Monday, what happened on Tuesday, what exactly has been happening, and what is intended to happen by the time we close tomorrow, when you have the end of the sixth National Science Week.
Okay. What happens when we're organizing this event? We first of all we consider what are the key challenges that the country is going through.
Yes.
Currently, there could be so many challenges, but you can only pick on one.
Yes.
And then this year we picked the theme on climate change and its effects. And we know what has been happening: drought, floods, hunger, food insecurity, very severe. In fact, we are still not yet out of the woods.
Yes.
So we thought we wanted our institutions, because they must be relevant, to come and address and actually showcase what programs, what research, what are some of the innovations that are actually geared towards addressing the issues that we are facing.
The pressing need on the climate change.
On the climate change.
Okay.
So that's why we have this week, and that was the theme. And so on Monday, that's when the event started. We started with the keynote speech. And the purpose of the keynote speech, especially in a forum like this, is to set the stage. Give the participants, and of course it's a national event, we expect also generally the country to have an idea of what are the issues that are contributing to the climate change and what actually even the government is trying to do.
Yes.
And that's what we got. To stimulate and to set the
The opening ceremony came on Tuesday.
Then the opening ceremony came on Tuesday. And this event, like I said, it's an interministerial event. Previously, this event has been organized possibly by only one ministry,
the Minister of Education.
Minister of Education.
Through NACOSTI.
Through NACOSTI. Because NACOSTI is the institution that has been mandated by the government to advise and coordinate matters on science, technology, innovation. Yes. So we take the lead. But we are doing it on behalf and with the Minister of Education. So the opening was on Tuesday. Yes. So we invited our key policy makers from the ministry, the PSs. Actually, in most cases, we normally invite our cabinet. But if he's not secretary, the cabinet secretary, if he's not available, he can delegate the function to his PS, one of his PS. Yes. But it happens this year, we had the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology, and also the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and Cooperatives. So the cabinet secretary initially delegated to our cabinet to the cabinet secretary of ICT. Yes. But now the cabinet secretary for ICT, because of another function, both of them were away in another function, they delegated to their PSs. Okay. So they came, we had them, and they opened the function. And again, focusing on the theme of how research, science, and technology. In
your capacity as the director, accreditation and quality assurance,
yes.
Give us a feel. How do you think it was up to the expectation that you would have required? Have you seen quality participation this year?
Yes, I have seen quality participation. Yes. Because even now, if you look at the paper presentations, by the way, there were this paper which were presented in scientific conferences. And if you look at them, they were very carefully selected. We have that team of scientists. We sent out a call there. And people, and we tell them, we want papers addressing this particular theme. Yes. So that's what the presenters give to us. Yes. Then we looked at them, and we evaluated each one of them. The merits of their presentation and what information we are going to gain from this, what value addition we are going. And I like the kind of papers. There is a lot of knowledge that we have gained from this.
There has been a missing ring. Some complaint has been made that there's somebody who is missing out.
Yes.
The so-called industry.
Yes.
Where are they? Why are they not here?
Now, I would like to tell you that it is not that they were not invited. We have always invited the industry.
Yes.
And especially because what is being displayed there would like some of these products actually to find their way into the market. Yes. In other words, we want them to be actually commercialized. We want to link up these innovators and exhibitors with the industry so that actually some of these products.
What's happening? Why is it that it appears like they are not? Okay, they may be there. I'm sure maybe they were passing around incognito. But why are we not seeing the active participation of the top brands in the industry of Kenya?
I think.
And what do we need to do maybe to kind of woo them this time?
One of the things I think we need to do as a country is to develop a policy. And I would like to believe, I think the policy is there. Even the ministry has created something we call RIWA, linking industry with academia within the ministry. And this is not a very old development. So I think the government and the ministry, for that matter, is trying to do something. Now, I can also tell you that if you look at some of the people who have participated, they're actually from the private sector. That means there is some element of private sector involvement. Maybe what we are talking about is maybe try to raise the profile of this event to a bit higher. Maybe through publicity.
Like the one we're having now?
Yes, like the one we're having now, so that actually people are aware. Now, because surely, for me, it is very important that the private sector, especially the players in the industry, come and see these products and actually appreciate. And maybe even some of them take up some of these products and they take up some of the guys, not just for mentorship, but maybe even attach them to their nini and even fund them.
Fund for commercialization sake.
For commercialization sake. Yeah. So that instead of importing some of these cheap products, I call them cheap because when you look at them, they look very cheap products. But we are buying them very expensively. Actually, from outside, we can save a lot of foreign.
But you also have had cases of innovators, individuals, who they come up with very good ideas, maybe. But when they got a point beyond prototyping, they want to do mass production, they take a flight to China and they go and contract the company to produce
now,
mass.
I think those are the challenges we have as a country. One, we need to work very closely with our institutions which are concerned with the intellectual property. Because we need to protect. And we also need to reward and to recognize our young scientists and our innovators. You know, over time we've heard people talking about brain drain, people leaving our country or leaving our institutions. We have invested so much in terms of training and capacity building. But they come, and then because of the environment, we have not created enough incentives for them to, we have not done much to retain them. They actually find their way out there. This is something as a country and as a government we need to look at because we cannot afford.
Thank you. I want us now to look at, there is a new round which happened today, Young Sciences and Technology Kenya. Yeah. Could you give our viewer an overview? What is it all about? The new body which was kind of presented today, which is scheduled to be launched in a few weeks' time.
Okay. Over time, we have had the Kenya Science Congress. This is a kind of a competition that has been going on among students in our secondary schools. Unfortunately, for a long time, we never documented what goes on there. And this again, our young minds, very brilliant. And after high school, it's like we are not even following up to know where do they go? Where do these, brains.
Kenyans.
Yeah, these creative Kenyans go. Do they follow up this training in the universities? It has not happened. Yes. So NACOSTI, that time it was NCST, we decided we need to bring them on board. Yes. In fact, we have even been funding them. Now, of course, this has been an event, again, in the Ministry of Education. Yes. NACOST only felt we need to come in and take it up and actually do something, at least to document, and also create a forum where these young scientists, upcoming scientists, can also come at the national level and showcase, and people start also appreciating. Now, what happened is that the government of the Republic of Ireland, I think they have realized what our government is also trying to do, and of course the ministry. So, and they have an experience. There was a time when their country was very poor.
Ireland itself.
Ireland itself. And that's a testimony of the ambassador. That's how he came to the current ambassador.
The current ambassador in Kenya today.
In Kenya today. Yeah, Dr. Vincent. He came and told us, you know, we think we can help you push this event to a higher level. Because we see what you're trying to do. We were somewhere very down. But the moment we revamped it and we approached it this way, we have managed, we have seen some growth.
So my question comes, what will be the synergy between the Kenya Science and Engineering Fair and the Young Science and Technology Kenya? Are they one and the same thing? Is it a continuation? Is it a replacement?
No, I want to be very clear here. For now, they are running parallel. You know, it's a model that we have borrowed. Yes. We have to pilot it first. So we still have our Kenya Science Congress going on. They'll still be coming here to compete the way they are needing. Yes. But we will be having now that other parallel competition, which is modeled on that
the Irish young scientist,
young scientist model. Then, but you see again, if you look at the target, it's our secondary schools, and then again, it's the same young people. But it's not a competition; it's a complementation. But we want to start with a pilot. Start it with it, involving a few schools, then see how it moves, and then eventually. Maybe, you never know, the country may decide to
adopt it for it.
To adopt it for all the schools, so that now it becomes one. But for now, they are running parallel, and because we are still piloting the other one. Already, the Tanzanian government, we are learning that they are already doing it, they have adopted it, and they are seeing a lot of benefits from it. And that's why, as a country, we also think we want to, and especially when you realize actually it's the segment of our youth in the population, which is very innovative. Yes. So, and now that we have also been having something more or less similar to what they are doing, so we thought we introduce it there. And then,
industrializing Kenya. Rimo TV is interested in getting to hear what can be done around industrialized Kenya. We want to draw a link between what NACOSTI is doing, the 6th National Science Week, and industrialized Kenya. Are we likely to achieve the status of newly industrialized nation as we get closer and closer to Vision 2030 through your engagement, through your activities like this invention that we have here?
I have no doubt in my mind. That's the path we have taken is the correct one.
Yes.
Because if you look at the countries in the world which have industrialized today, including some of the countries in the world which were at par in the 60s, they made very bold steps, very deliberate decisions to promote research, science, and technology. And I think if we move in that direction, that's the way we are going to be industrialized. Now, of course, for us to get industrialized, we need to build capacity, not just the human resource, science-based, mathematics, engineering, of course, even ICT comes in. Now, our institutions, we need to build capacity. People who can, high caliber of staff who can actually do that high-level science. And of course, even train others. And I think that's what the government is also trying to do.
So there is hope.
There is hope.
Okay.
And I think we are getting there. And that's why even all these other efforts that you see around the displays with robotics, the science, the young scientist things, those are the things, you know, it's a concerted effort.
This may not fall directly on the docket, but I'd like to hear what NACOSTI is doing together with Kenya, the Kenya National Innovation Agency. To what extent have NACOSTI and Kenya managed to have kind of a tracking of who is doing what, especially as far as research is concerned, innovation is concerned, and what we may call translation of research findings to actual products and services in the long run, or maybe, in fact, in the short term? Okay.
Now, of course, Kenya, that's Kenya National, that's the short, the acronym for Kenya National Innovation Agency. Yes. Was created also by the same act that created NACOSTI. Okay. Before then, NACOSTI used to do all these things, even promoting. But now the government realized there is a niche here. And we need to focus more on innovations. And by the way, I always believe innovations, you know, this science week has concentrated around Nairobi. And I would like to believe, and this is what I believe, there are a lot of innovations out there in the rural areas, especially in the counties, which we have not even tapped. And so Kenya, as a body, has been created so that it can actually focus primarily on that.
Identifying where the innovators are.
Yeah, actually, it talks even about going out there and scouting. Identifying them, documenting them, recognizing them. And we would expect, even prioritize the ones which need to be funded so that these things can actually move even from the prototype to the next level of commercialization.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karimi. We are tending towards the end of the interview. I would want you to conclude by giving us the vision. I mean, we have come so far, but what are we seeing ahead of us? What is the prospect of having the findings, the conversations, the presentations being here? Where are they taking us in the next few years? In very few ones, address the camera.
It is true that organizing and holding the Science Week, National Science Week annually, should not become a ritual. True. One of the things I would like to say from the onset is we are very happy because as NACOSTI, some of the people that we have supported, including the innovators, they have set up their own companies. In fact, some of them even are having companies outside the country.
That's a loss. It should not be happening like that. Anyway, and we are concluding.
No, you know,
that's brain drain. Unfortunately,
but we are not saying that you know, you can have a company here, but you have a branch outside another country. Yes, and we have industrialists who are also doing that. Like one who is very famous. Let me say, Kote from Nigeria. So anyway, but the point is, can we, as a country, would like to document and actually identify these individuals with their innovations, and then take them up to the next level. We have incubation centers here. The government is also encouraging our institutions of higher learning and even research station institutions to set up science parks so that some of these things, technology, can also be incubated there and be refined and developed. KEBS, which is the body in charge of standardization, because that's another very important aspect of technology development, because these technologies must meet certain standards. So we need also to standardize them. So, and that's why you find even in a forum like this, we also invite them, so that people also start talking about, thinking about, standards, because at the end of the day, these products, we want them to be competitive in the world.
True.
So that's our aim. And we think if we move in that direction, then we'll be developing the whole innovation system, technology generation system, and the research systems in a way that the products actually will find their market, not only here in the country, but even outside there. Starting, of course, with the regions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Karimi.
By the way, we have also even invited participants from even our
neighboring
countries.
Oh, yes.
And you know that. Even in this event, we have had like the country of Uganda has been represented like in the robotics competition.
True.
Previously, we have had the CEOs of their national science councils there. They also come here. Even South Africa, they come. There are people even from Japan coming in here. So I think we are just building up momentum. But we think eventually, like I'm saying, some of these young people should eventually find their way into some kind of a market, They start even creating employment, and some of them are already doing it, and we are very happy.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Karimi TV is happy to work with you and give you more coverage and spread the gospel out in there.
Thank you.
It was my honor having you on the set. On that account, we call off until next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.